Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. St. Lucia's Prime Minister reiterates St. Lucia's support for Guyana in its territorial dispute with Venezuela. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 13th December 2023, brought to you in association with our friends at Antillian Group. Details when we return.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Philip J. Pear of St. Lucia has reiterated his country's stance on the Guyana-Venezuela Essequibo dispute, saying that it is in sync with CARICOM's position on the matter. Zane Romulus of the DBS News World filed this report.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has agreed to a meeting with his Guyanese counterpart, Ifan Ali, over the Essequibo dispute. The meeting was brokered by Brazilian President and Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, over the weekend. This followed a CARICOM heads of government meeting last Friday to discuss the territorial dispute. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pear has welcomed the upcoming discussions, noting that dialogue is the best approach to de-escalating tensions between the two countries.
Venezuela and St. Lucia have been friends for a long time, so it's not a new friendship. But we also are very close to Guyana. Guyana is a member of CARICOM. Guyanese nationals live in St. Lucia. Many St. Lucians went to Guyana to work. So it's a situation where we find ourselves among a quarrel among our friends. And that is the reality of the situation. But again, we believe that that controversy must be settled peacefully. We are hoping that this long-standing controversy, discussion and dialogue, so we call for discussion and dialogue, and we're asking for both parties to respect international law, to respect, Guyana has said that they're going to be following the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice. Venezuela has not accepted it. We think that all actions should be kept at a level so it can't escalate.
The Prime Minister also revealed that the promised support from Venezuela, which included fertilizer and materials for the housing sector, has been put on hold. The support was offered during a bilateral state visit to Venezuela on October 6, 2023, where an air services agreement was also signed. The first flight under the agreement was scheduled to arrive last month, but has also been postponed. The Prime Minister was vague in his response when asked if the pause was directly related to Venezuela's dispute with Guyana.
The three things, the flights, the urea, and the housing, is on hold until January. No, we just thought it's better to put it on hold. Let's talk and see what happens.
Does it have anything to do with the current crisis?
I think that it doesn't have anything to do with the current crisis directly, but I think it's time now to let things settle a little bit.
Last week, the opposition UWP called on the Prime Minister to clarify St. Lucia's position on the territorial dispute. The Prime Minister reaffirmed that his position is in line with CARICOM's. Meanwhile, the Caribbean Democrat Union, the CDU, has called out Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro over his actions in the border controversy with Guyana. The CDU, which includes St. Lucia's opposition United Workers' Party, is an alliance of center-right and conservative parties in the wider International Democrat Union. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
In a press conference aimed at introducing the legislative pillars of the good governance transformation for St. Kitts and Nevis, It was disclosed that while financial declarations have been filed by public servants and elected officials, the level of compliance remains low. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
In an 8 December press conference aimed at introducing the legislative pillars of the good governance transformation for St. Kitts and Nevis, it was disclosed that while financial declarations have been filed by public servants and elected officials, the level of compliance remains low. According to retired Justice Pauletta Lands, chairperson of the Integrity Commission, an extended deadline was granted, yet the response was low. The next step would be to forward the names of non-compliant persons to the Director of Public Prosecutions. For elected ministers of Parliament, the chairperson said a majority filed their financial declarations and explained the next steps.
Most of them have done so. Parliamentarians were the first to file. As I said before, most of them have done so. And the penalty, I should say, is it $30,000 or 5 years imprisonment? 3 years, I think it was amended to 3 years. 3 years imprisonment. So that is the penalty. But that would be after a chain of events have occurred. It doesn't happen just like that. At some point, we in the office have done certain things, and eventually recall these matters or defaulters to the Director of Public Prosecutions for him to take necessary action.
And I inquired, have there been filings? There are persons who are outstanding. I say, oh. I've asked the Commission to furnish me with the names of those persons. And when those names are furnished, it's just a matter of putting in the names of the individuals into the charges which I've already drafted. I'm not playing. I am simply awaiting the names.
According to the Attorney General, a new day has dawned in St. Kitts and Nevis for the good governance agenda. Glenn Bard reporting for SKN Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Police uniform audits coming in light of several crimes committed by people who wear uniforms resembling official police uniform in Trinidad and Tobago. Jensen Lavend of CNC3 News has more.
Men dressed in police operational wear stormed the house and murdered 3 men. This is one of many opening lines for stories detailing the misuse of police tactical uniforms by criminals. CNC3 News spoke with senior and junior police officers who said the fact that private companies are selling uniforms for security companies that look similar to that of police is contributing to the increased concern. In the wake of fake police invading homes in central Trinidad, Inspector Inchan Tilok at a town hall meeting on November 28th advised residents to ask to see the official TTPS identification card or the badge of anyone coming to them claiming to be officers before allowing them into their property. He added that residents should also call the nearest police station to verify whether the officers were legitimate. In June, Senate Leader Dr. Amory Brown said that Police Commissioner Erla Haywood Christopher plans to address this issue. At the time, he was responding to questions posed by opposition Senator Wade Mark. He said the commissioner promised 2 steps in addressing this, namely,
a review of its standing orders related to the distribution of items of uniform, as well as the development of new strategies to ensure that police officers are compliant with those standing orders, properly securing their items of kit and uniform. And 5, an audit of all items of uniform issued.
Police officers want the return of one place and one place only where they can get their uniforms from. The Trinidad and Tobago police stores, that blue building you see behind me there. Currently, police officers are allowed to purchase their uniforms from authorized private dealers. So too can criminals. Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News, Ryston Road.
The Bahamas' Minister of Transport and Energy, Jobeth Colby Davis, shares concern about the number of traffic deaths. More in this ZNS News item.
The number of fatal road traffic accidents on the rise. The country's Minister of Transport revealing as much during a special training session for road traffic supervisors at the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Base, Coral Harbor. Citing recent statistics, Minister of Transport, the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis says, to date, there have been over 48 road traffic fatalities, a significant increase compared to the same period in 2022. The number of fatalities involving females rose by more than 50% compared to 2022. The number of fatal traffic accidents involving motorcycles have surged by 50% compared to 2022. Additionally, she noted that many of the fatal traffic accidents in the country involve young Bahamians under the age of 45. Minister Jobeth Colby Davis says these recent numbers are quite troubling and a cause for national concern. She's advising motorists to slow down and practice safe driving on our streets. She's also encouraging road traffic supervisors to play a greater role at reducing traffic mishaps.
Things are back to normal at Sangster International Airport in Jamaica after light issue on the runway. Javon Keys of TVJ News shed some light.
To some aviation-related matters now, the management of the Sangster International Airport says operations at the facility are back to normal following issues with the runway Saturday. Runway lights at the facility became unserviceable at around 7:05 p.m. The issue was rectified nearly 2 hours later. Now, the authorities say 2 aircraft had to be diverted to the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston during the affected period, while 1 flight destined for Canada had to be cancelled. Now, some of the affected passengers were rebooked to depart Saturday night and or Sunday. The airport's management has apologized. Now, in August, the Sangster International Airport was the source of a logistical nightmare for travelers, hoteliers, and other stakeholders after the runway at the facility had to be shut down. The closure was linked to issues with the expansion work on the runway.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.